What's up, everybody? It's Alex Winking. Michael, hope everybody's having a great Saturday. It is hot outside today. I know, sorry I haven't seen you guys this week. Haven't uploaded anything. Been a little jammed up. I think I'm probably like 3, maybe 4 weeks out from being just totally crushed at work. To where we maybe I'll have a little more breathing room. Maybe can get back to 3, 4 uploads a week. But I'll try to keep it at 2 to 3. I mean, I'm really fighting for that. But man, these 12-hour days are just killers. But again, I'm fortunate enough to be in the industry I'm in. I'm loving every second of it too, man. We have a lot of fun. But I wanted to kind of cover a little bit of news that dropped this week on the Nintendo Switch Lite. Wanted to give you my thoughts. It kind of worked out a little better this way because now some of the questions about it are answered. If you haven't seen the Nintendo Switch Lite, it retails for $199.99. It does not dock. It's basically a dockless Nintendo Switch, so it's $100 cheaper. And it is basically a full portable version of the Nintendo Switch. The Joy-Cons are actually attached to it, meaning it's all seamless, basically like a Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, all that good stuff. However, this is basically those on steroids. But I wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit because there were a lot of unanswered questions. There probably still are. There's a lot I'm okay with this, and then there's some I'm disappointed with. I'm with the audience or the group that really wants a Nintendo Switch Pro as opposed to a Lite. It makes sense, though, that this one would come out first. As far as demographics and markets that this thing targets, it really can target anybody. But I would think that you would be trying to target people that are looking for a second console still, maybe users that don't have a Nintendo Switch yet, and this is a great entry option into getting a Nintendo Switch, and that it's fully portable. You can't take your PS4 and Xbox One places, so this would make a lot of sense to pick these up. To get a Nintendo Switch Lite, and you can basically play the entire library of Nintendo Switch games. I believe there may be a few exceptions to that, but don't quote me on that. I'm not really entirely sure yet, but I found an article via IGN that I think really sums up what the Nintendo Switch Lite is capable of, some of the questions that a lot of people had when they announced it, and kind of where we go from here. So let's jump into this article, and I will link it in the description below as always, but this is via IGN, 9 Nintendo Switch Lite questions answered by Nintendo. They had some answers on the OS changes, controller support, and more. This is a good article. It does kind of hit the main questions that I think a lot of people were asking initially. It doesn't get too nitty-gritty, but here's an image of the Nintendo Switch Lite if you haven't seen it. As you can see, they got rid of the buttons on this, Joy-Con, essentially, and they put the D-pad there, which makes a lot of sense for a fully portable device. These are not detachable, as you can see. Screen is a little bit smaller. I was actually really impressed with how close to the size specs they kept this thing to the basic Nintendo Switch. It does seem like it's of a thinner profile. It's a little smaller, but overall, they didn't really sacrifice a whole lot, and we kind of get into that down here. So, it says Nintendo announced the first new iteration of its Switch console, the Nintendo Switch Lite, earlier this week. Comes with details of Nintendo Switch Lite's price, color options, specs, and more, but the reveal also left us with plenty of questions about technical capabilities and other things. So we sent our answers along to Nintendo for clarification on whether Joy-Con-less Nintendo Switch would still wirelessly support Joy-Cons, and Nintendo Switch controllers, whether any alterations to the Switch OS would be made, and more. So let's kind of go through some of these, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about what I like and what I don't like. So, 1. Nintendo Switch Lite account, battery, and accessory questions. Question, IGN says, with the Switch Lite announcement, are there any changes being made to the Nintendo Switch Online account system to consider current Switch owners who will either make the jump to Switch Lite or want to use the two systems concurrently? Or will the system continue to work as it does at this time? Answer. Purchases can be downloaded and played by on multiple Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite systems by linking your Nintendo account. Please note there are some exceptions when playing and starting games based on your Nintendo account's designated primary and non-primary systems. More information can be found on the official Nintendo page. You can send your game save data from one system to another using the transfer your save data feature. Please see the link for the following steps. Blah, blah, blah. So, to answer their question, no. This is kind of going to be a little bit of a nuisance to use right now. So you still have to transfer your data. So for me, I fall into this category of a person who owns a Nintendo Switch who would want to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite to travel because I don't want to undock my Switch console. And it would be really awesome to me if I could have concurrent save data and concurrent data to trade between the two consoles. That would create a tremendous value to me. But unfortunately, I have to go through that whole dance of, convert your save data, move it to this one, then move it back to that one. They really need to work on this and make this seamless with those type of users in mind, because I think the demographic or the amount of users that are going to fall in that category of owning 2 Switch consoles is going to be a lot higher than they probably expect. So I really hope that they work on this. Question: Switch Lite will not work in dock mode, but will it support charging through the official Nintendo Switch dock accessory or other licensed third-party accessory? Users will need a USB Type-A and Type-C adapter to use USB accessories. Nintendo recommends, obviously, using officially licensed accessories. I don't know if they answer the question or not, if it's going to sit in the dock and charge, really. I would assume it does, but it is a little bit smaller, so it may not fit in the dock. But it does have a charging accessory like your Game Boy or your 3DS. It'll have an accessory that charges it. So I'm not really sure if it'll do the dock, but either way, I mean, that makes it more portable for it to not. There's no reason to set it in the dock anyway, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't use the dock for, going on screen. You can't do that. So why set it in the dock to charge? You basically could just charge it up like your cell phone. This is the big one for me. The online feature annoys me a little bit, but this one really kind of is a downer to me on the Switch Lite. Question: Is battery life on the Switch Lite improved due to a change in the battery? Does it have a larger MHA or MAH, or simply due to the energy demands of the Switch Lite? Answer from Nintendo: The Nintendo Switch Lite battery life has been slightly improved from Nintendo Switch, although battery life will continue to vary depending on how the system is used. IGN goes on to clarify that as of now, it remains unclear whether the Switch Lite is using a different battery or improved battery, or simply the same battery as the original Switch, but players can seemingly expect better battery life, as Nintendo has previously said, with an expected 3 to 7 hour battery life depending on the game. That's incredibly disappointing to me. If there was one thing that you needed to fix on making this console, it was the damn battery. You should have had something in place here. It needs to be 6 to 8 hours. I say 6 hours minimum, 6 to 10. Nintendo has notoriously made great batteries for their products. I mean, the 3DS has incredible battery life. I understand that this is a whole different animal to tackle, but you would think that there would have been a significant investment of time and money into cultivating a better battery. That is disappointing to me. 3 hours is not enough. 3 to 7, yeah, I'm sure you get 7 hours when you're playing Mario 1 with the brightness all the way down. But, I mean, come on. That really needed to be fixed. Again, this is $100 cheaper, so you can't harp on it too bad. I really wish they would fix the screen. I got to tell you, when you take the Switch out, the glare on the Switch is atrocious. You have to put something on the screen to fix the glare. So I don't know if the screen is different. Maybe it is because it is a slightly smaller screen. Here's to hoping that that screen is different and has an anti-glare built into it, since it is fully portable. Here's the other big bomb question. Nintendo Switch Lite storage capacity questions. Are multiple SKUs for built-in storage size planned, or will it just be a 32GB model? Answer from Nintendo. Nintendo Switch Lite has a 32GB of internal storage. So they follow up and say, well, okay, will the Switch Lite support the same microSD, SDHC, and SDXC capabilities as the Switch? And it does say Nintendo Switch Lite has the same SD card storage as Nintendo Switch. IGN clarifies this by saying, while it seems Nintendo is only intending to launch one version, the Nintendo Switch, when it comes to internal storage, you will be able to upgrade your storage capacity as you can with the Nintendo Switch. That is huge. That is a very big plus. That is absolutely needed. So you will be able to upgrade the storage capacity, which is 100% needed for a console like this. So, does it support Light Labo controller support questions? This was a big one because people were asking, well, can I not pair Joy-Cons to this? Does this basically make the Nintendo Labo useless and other games that you want to use multiple Joy-Cons, etc.? Yes, the answer is you can compare wirelessly paired Joy-Con controllers. You can play variety robot vehicle kits, although it may be different a little bit from intended play experience, and some Toy-Cons are not fully compatible. The compatibility with the Nintendo Labo is basically diverse by product. They basically say the flagship Nintendo Switch system is recommended to play Nintendo Labo. That does not mean that you can't play it on your Switch Lite. It just may not function exactly like it's supposed to. However, you can link up Joy-Cons and Pro controllers to your Switch Lite, kickstand it. That's actually really nice. Couple other ones. Will the OS home screen be any different? No. Will Hulu and entertainment apps still work? Yes. Joy-Con and Pro controllers can be paired with it, they go on to say. And This thing comes out September 20th, 2019. Like I said, for $200. They had some pictures up here I feel like I missed where they were doing size comparisons. It's so funny because it looks just like a Vita, like size. Like when you put them side by side, it's kind of funny how similar they are. The Nintendo Switch Lite is a little bigger than a PS Vita, an original Vita. I don't know about the new ones, but either way, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, will I get one of these? Sure. I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, I'm not, I guess I'm not overly thrilled about it. I mean, I want the Pro, and it looks like that's not coming this year, maybe next year. But at the same time, I can see this having a use. I can see this allowing them to break into other demographics and markets that they maybe weren't in yet with people, where people are like, okay, I can spend $200 on a Switch that I can carry around. That'll be my handheld console. Because a lot of people maybe weren't sold on the Switch, the standard edition. They're like, I got to dock it. It's going to take up more spot in the entertainment center. I'm never going to turn it on. I'll probably forget to get it, and then I got to connect Joy-Cons and port it around. This becomes a much more portable solution. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you going to get a Nintendo Switch Lite? Do you think the price point hits where it needs to? And does that answer a lot of the other questions? I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you guys think about it. And I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. It's been kind of a crazy ride the last week and a half, 2 weeks. This number back here behind me hasn't moved. It's kind of weird. I haven't lost anybody, haven't gained anybody. It's like my YouTube channel's frozen, but hopefully we continue to grow. Like I said, thank you guys so much for the support. You guys can hit me up on Twitter, here in the comments. I definitely respond, definitely active. So thanks again for everything, and I will see you all on the next one.